Oh, I hope this is working. Yes, this is, hello, it's Kal Kat the Kal Katster. And this is a review of Lower Decks Episode 3, Temporal Edict. In this particular episode, we do Silly Track yet again. And and the crew goes to, bakes up a time off edict thing to, like, there's like a goof off rule that Bulmer reveals to them, and Ransom goes on a mission to a planet with these crystal loving people. I think they're from TOS. And Bulmer and the first officer get trapped on the planet, and they after accidentally insulting them by having the Bolian pass them a log instead of a piece of crystal, and it's like it's a dildo to them, so they're offended. On the ship, the crystal people then try to take over the ship, and they're crystal loving people. While they're down on the planet fighting, and they do like a mock time thing but the first officer beats up this gigantic brute guy who turns out to be like the Smart Hulk from Avengers. The end. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It turns out that the goof off time thing in it is essential. It drives the crew nuts, and they're not ready for an invasion by the crystal loving people. So yeah. Third episode is the best of the three so far. They have to get back and go back to, and there is a Silly Trek ending on the far future. They acknowledge the Silly Trek nepotism of Picard stories. Oddly enough, couldn't have been the new one because that one just came out, but it was the one from several months ago. In the far future, Bulmer is recognized as the greatest goof-off in Starfleet, which was funny. So apparently during the time of Discovery, that's when the Federation was fixed by Discovery. They just took the same idea. They took the idea of 32nd century, and what would happen if Starfleet actually did survive because of this goof-off guy in that universe. So it's the Nepotismo universe. It's the Cillian universe. It's not quite what happened, but it's kind of funny that a slacker becomes like a Q or something. And then they said the greatest guy was Miles O'Brien, which was funny. It's like, what are you talking about, man? Oh, Captain. Oh, Mr. O'Brien. It's a transporter, sir. But yes, Miles O'Brien. Yeah, they mentioned Miles O'Brien. They also mentioned they actually accidentally called the security officer Jaxa by mistake. Is he supposed to be Jaxa's dad? That'd be funny. That would work actually. Cedo Jaxa, of course, is in beta canon on the Memory Beta, is alive. She was rescued years later after being in a alien prison, Cardassian prison, which she was rescued to the Dominion War, which is consistent with the Cillian Starship Locations version. That's kind of what happened to her. It's consistent with that. Yeah. So some of the books did that too. So it wasn't just us. The ensign lady almost falls for the first officer, but then she realizes he's still a douche, which was funny because he can fight. But yeah, it's a good thing that didn't happen because that would have been gross. He does stab her in the leg, which is a weird way to show that you don't want to do something. But then she gets mad at him at the end. And the cat lady, who's clearly Dr. McCoy, crossed with Yun Sol from Canary Space. Come on, guys. That cat lady is Yun Sol from Canary Space. I think it's called Rimrels or something, but it's Yun Sol. Anyway, yeah, come on. You guys read some of my stuff, that's great. But yeah, so so yeah, there's a cat lady who acts like the male Yun Sol character. Yeah, so cat. Sure. Fun episode. Yeah. It wasn't about time travel. You think about a title like a Temporal Edict, that it would be about time travel, but it's about time saving. And there's graffiti on the walls, and there's nods to a bunch of other stuff in there. The idea that they're goofing off like martinis. How old is it? They're probably supposed to be in their early 20s, so they're old enough to drink. But yeah, but yeah, it's kind of, and also she's the captain's daughter, so yeah, I would suspect nobody on the ship wants to actually be with her, because she would totally, like, captain would phaser them. But it's hilarious that in the distant future, and the other version of the Federation in the distant future, that it's like Planet Nepotisma, and they worship Bulmer, because he is the one main, like, literal, like, space-time eye character that you guys literally put in your story. Yeah, there's no way you could have done it otherwise. You must have. Also, as someone else had pointed out, it's the character from New Frontiers, the Caressian Mackenzie Calhoun. It's him too. They say that he's an Earther, but no, he's from Mackenzie Calhoun planet. He's got the purple hair, their eyes. He's from the planet from New Frontiers. So yeah, that's what he's from. Yeah. So that's my review of the Temporal Edict. That's my review. So there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was okay. It was fun. Yeah, not a lot of extra in jokes, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's a really short review, because I had nothing bad to say about it. Very silly track, like. I didn't write it. I keep saying, like, oh, it's like something I wrote, but it's definitely like something I would have written. Yeah, so.